I am back. I am back. It's been ages. It's been like a month. It doesn't feel like a month, but it also does feel like a month. It's a bit of a weird dichotomy. I don't know if I'm using that word correctly, but I'm gonna pretend that I am. Jonathan says Jonathan has entered. How you doing, Jonathan? Isabel says he returns. Indeed, he does. No plane crashes to report. Nothing untoward. It was a really good holiday. How are you doing? Hope you are good. I had tuna sushi thing from a food perspective. I also had wagyu steak on a stick. It cost me about 25 quid, but it was really nice. But yeah, I had a lot of food there. Did all the typical touristy stuff. HB says prediction for tonight. I'm nervous. I'm also nervous, and I'm also pretty tired because this is an early kickoff. So I had to kind of finish what I was doing, have a shower, have a shave, and as you can see, I cut myself because I was shaving really quickly. Um, but yeah, I'm nervous as well. I think Galatasaray beat Liverpool like in the league phase. But I think Liverpool will win 2-0. I'm going for 2-0. I'm going for 2-0. Stefan says, will Liverpool score a goal or even two? I hope they score a goal. I hope they score a goal. I was saying this to Grace. I was saying, as soon as I disappear to the other side of the world, Liverpool score 5 goals. And we know what's going to happen. As soon as I get back, they're going to get battered. So let's hope I'm wrong. But realistically, I think it will be 2-0. What kit will Uma wear? You know what? I've started to kind of drift away from the kits. I don't know why. I had like a phase of just wearing kits on every stream. This is still like a Liverpool thing. It's one of those kind of fashion shirts, but I'm getting a bit more pretentious with my choice. Fish is saying something in Polish. I think that's about his team. Grace says, what happened to the pinned message? I think I saw a message from Stefan where he said he removed it so that Grace could have the pinned message. Is that correct, or did I make that up? Isabel says, we are away first, aren't we? Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. So it's I was gonna say at the Galatasaray Stadium, but I don't know what it is. But yeah, it's in Turkey. James says, when match right now, match in 2 minutes. So 5:45 kickoff. Grace wants to know all the juicy details about my holiday. I will provide you with said juicy details. Grace correctly predicted that I was going to wear the blue hat, and I saw that before I went online, so I quickly changed it to the black hat. Jonathan was saying, start this. I take that as a compliment. Jonathan says, so long. Yeah, it's been a month apparently. It doesn't feel like a month, but I did, before I went live today, I did check the date and it said February 14th, I think. Unless I've got that wrong. So yeah, it's been a while. But yeah, how are you? I hope you like the picture that I tagged you in. There's a restaurant in Tokyo called Jonathan's. So I tagged Jonathan in that. James or Hammett says, come on you Reds. I'm liking that. Interesting. Frimpong, who is possibly playing today, says the team that comes up first is always the home team. Interesting. Who goes through to the quarters? I think Liverpool. I think Liverpool will win this. I think they're gonna wanna get revenge for how it went earlier in the year. Fish says, how good was Craig Bellamy? He was alright. Let's ignore the fact that he battered John Arisa with a golf club. Let's just ignore that. Let's pretend that didn't happen. Outside of that, he was pretty good. Was he number 39? I think he was number 39. I was super excited when he signed. I don't think he was as good for Liverpool as the team we signed him from. I think this was around 2007. I think he was maybe signed from West Ham, but I might get that wrong. But he was decent. He was decent. Harry says, hello, how are you? All good, back from a holiday. How are you? You're currently doing a duty. I don't know what that is, and I potentially don't want to know what that is. What's a duty? Jonathan is saying you look AI. I think it's the lighting. I checked it before I went live. The lighting's a bit weird today because it's kind of not dark outside. It's not dark outside, so all my other lights are not bouncing off the walls like they normally do. But it will go dark in a bit, and I think that will then correct everything. Stefan yielded the pin message so Grace could have it. That's very kind. I was going to say that's very graceful, but that's probably a bit too much of a pun. Let me see. There you go. I've pinned Grace's message where she's saying what happened to the pinned message. The general says Salah got. I mean, I don't think you have a stutter, but I think you're just trying to emphasize the importance of Salah stepping up. Yeah, he does have to step up. I think he scored in the last game, and I think he also scored the game before that, I think. So hopefully that's a positive sign of things to come. I think they might have kicked off. Let me just refresh. Grace says that was nice of Stefan. Indeed it was. Harry saying hi. Estevao saying hi. Estevao Pedro Antonio. I like how you have 3 first names. That's very powerful. Jonathan saw the thing I tagged him in, which is good. I'm glad. You can see I was thinking about you despite being 6,000 miles away. Isabel basically saying what I've been thinking for a while, which is that Galatasaray are a team of nobodies with Osimhen. To be honest, that is what I call them. That's kind of how I was mentally thinking of them earlier in the season, and then they beat us. But you're still correct. I think Liverpool just played badly that game. I'm hoping for a good win today. Do you ever like World Book Day, said Fish. They used to do World Book Day at school, and I used to be super excited for it, but I never really had any money to buy books. And then it was one of those things where you think, okay, when I'm older, then I can buy all the books that I want. But now I just don't really have much of a incentive, if that makes sense. But yeah, I used to like it. They used to come to my school with books and things. Isabel says Wirtz left attacking mid, left wing. Interesting. That is interesting. It's also interesting that Gakpo's been dropped. For me, it looks like Wirtz is more left, and it looks like Szoboszlai is in the number 10. I don't know if they're going to change. I don't know if they're going to kind of intertwine. Is that the right word? Intertwine the positions, but yeah, let's see how that goes. I'll set the timer in a bit. We should be 2 up, says the general. Yeah, we should at the very least be 1 up. I can accommodate a certain amount of variability, but yeah, at least one of those should have gone in. So Joe Gomez throw though. Joe Gomez throw. Which he's pretty good at. Bailey says interesting, but at least Slot's doing something for poor form. Yeah, he is. I mean, whether it'll be enough to save him at the end of the year, I'm not 100% sure, but he is doing something. Alex says, what time kickoff? Kickoff time now. Or kickoff time, sorry, was 5 minutes ago. I should really set the timer, otherwise it's going to just confuse people. So that's probably my fault. Let's cam. Jonathan's saying R.I.P. Ash today. He's not saying R.I.P. Grace, so that's a bit of a change. Isabel likes this lineup. I also like this lineup. I think it's interesting that it's Gomez right back and not Szoboszlai right back. So they've stopped that whole experiment. Szoboszlai was good as a right back, but I think by putting him at right back, you lose a lot of his strengths from the midfield. So I'm glad they've made that switch. Do you think we should sign Van de Ven? For the right price, for the right price, it depends on the price. Or is he free? I think his contract might be running out. Or am I remembering that incorrectly? Jonathan says Inter Milan is the word. Finley says seen Lamine Yamal today in the Toonman. Get up, nice. You were playing at 8 o'clock, aren't you? Did you like physically see him coming into the stadium? Sarah says hi. Sarah advertising her Instagram. I don't know what's on there. I should probably have checked that out beforehand, but it is what it is. Yeah, Grace. Oh, yeah, you mentioned that the other day that you nearly slipped, and I think my response was, if you did slip, Jonathan would have gotten his wish. What minute are you on? I've corrected that now. Just past 5.5 minutes. Drew is cool. I like the simplicity of that username. It's just Drew is cool. They're giving us chances. We just don't want to take them. We just don't want to be cool like Drew. I think that's the problem. This has happened before, where Liverpool are aggressive early on. They fail to score. Then their heads kind of sink, and then we lose. So let's hope that does not happen. Mr. Default says United. How you doing? Hope you are well. Hope you are good. What's this beef about Paul Scholes and Michael Carrick? I saw something about this today. Like, was Paul Scholes taking a dig at Michael Carrick or something? Is there something in that, or did I imagine that? Finley says, I seen him this morning on their walk. Oh, nice. Oh, fuck off. They fucking scored. I fucking told you. As soon as I fucking come back, we fucking concede. In the 3 weeks, right? In the 3 weeks that I was not fucking here, in the fucking 3 weeks that I was in Japan, did we concede a goal after 6 minutes? I don't think we did. I'm not sure because of the time difference. But I swear we did not concede a goal after 6 minutes. Can someone let me know who Liverpool are playing? Galatasaray. And Liverpool are 1-0 down. Liverpool are 1-0 down with some... I was about to say something really bad, but I stopped myself. Oh, you've not heard. You need to catch up on the United gossip. Mr. Defoe is stating what I had for breakfast. It was whey protein with milk and some oats. So that's it's a bit creepy that you know what I had for breakfast. General says keeper at fault. Junior is particularly happy. Tell me, in the 3 weeks I wasn't here, did Liverpool ever concede within 6 minutes? Because 6 minutes is nothing. Conceding within 6 minutes is basically as good as conceding instantly. Let's change the fucking score. Just fucking hell, man. I don't even remember how the hell, how in God's name do I change the score? There you go. 1-0. Jonathan is also very happy. Mr. Default says, can someone let me know when Liverpool or Liverpool are playing? Oh, it's now you say. Could have fooled me. Could have fooled me as well. They are not playing right now. Or to be fair, they were. So what? We are 9 minutes in. They were playing about 5 minutes ago, and then they stopped. So their most recent game lasted about 4 minutes. How do you think I could build my mental confidence on the pitch? Do you have any advice? Just pretend that the other team is wearing Liverpool shirts, and then you will beat the crap out of whoever you're playing. That's what I'd suggest. Just pretend they're wearing a green Liverpool shirt. You know how sometimes they say, imagine everybody in the room is naked. Just imagine everybody's wearing a Liverpool shirt, and then that will give you the self-belief that you are going to obliterate this team on the football pitch. It is my fault. Former Wolves man scored, says Fish. Well, that makes my life even better. Wolves seems to be a thorn in Liverpool's side. I know Liverpool beat them in the cup, but they did beat Liverpool in the league, didn't they? At least Grace is happy. But it's literally what I was talking to you about the other day. You know how we make a joke that, okay, Liverpool score goals when I'm not here, but as soon as I get back, they're going to do some dumb shit like this. And that is exactly what's happened. Jonathan says, bro, the girl is a baddie. I looked her Instagram up. Is that really her though? Is that really her profile, or is it one of those scammy type? King Sloth, is this 8 minutes in the second? No, it's first half. Unfortunately, your eyes do not deceive you. Fucking first half. Dude, I've not even been here. I've not even been here for 3 weeks. Yeah, I've not seen any of this nonsense for 3 weeks. And as soon as I get back, they concede. I keep thinking of things to say in my head, but they're all kind of cancelable and inappropriate. So then I just stop myself. Lord have mercy, Liverpool. How do you concede within 10 minutes? I mean, fuck me. Oh, Jesus Christ. They almost scored a second. Osman with his face mask. Why is Van Dijk not challenging Osman? How is Osman winning a header? Osman's like 5'2". Mr. Defoe says, since you've been gone, that's actually my favorite Kelly Clarkson song. Is it Kelly Clarkson? Yeah, it's Kelly Clarkson. Since you've been gone, Sesko has turned good. That is not Kelly Clarkson, but Sesko has turned good, and Bruno remained the best attacking midfielder in the world. I'm a bit disappointed that Bruno's doing well. That's really harsh, but it's honest. Especially on FPL, because I play FPL. And he's got a lot of points on there, which means that he is doing well. But fair enough. I mean, I'm typically not one of these people to say, no, they're not, they suck. I'm like, fair enough. If we want to beat that, that's on us. That's on us to do better. That's the way I see things. So even if Arsenal win the league, which I hope they don't, I won't ever say, oh, it was a weak league, blah, 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 because I think that's unfair. It's the same league that we had. So if it was a weak league, it's our fault for finishing 6th, which is probably what happens. Was it Mario Lemina? Is that the Lemina fish? Was it Mario Lemina? Jonathan is looking up that baddie. If she appears again, I'll look it up. I have a suspicion she might have been a bot, but if she appears again, I might look it up. King Sloth is at the Atlanta versus Bayern game, watching you with this scoreline. It's just my life at this point. But interestingly, have you gone back to Italy? Because I think you went to, was it Rome that you went to a few weeks ago? So have you gone back? If you have, I'm pretty jealous. Stefan says, the advantage of conceding on 6 minutes is you have 84 minutes to equalise. That is very true. But equally, I mean, you're looking at things from a glass half full approach, which I kind of respect and admire. I'm looking at it from a glass half empty approach, which is there are also 84 minutes to concede again. But let's see. Yeah, Lucas is with me. Lucas is also glass half empty like me. We've got another 84 minutes to concede again. Is Sabo good or the best of a bad bunch? A bit of both. A bit of both, to be honest. A bit of both. Or is that like a rubbish answer, sitting on the fence answer? I would definitely say there's an element. I would definitely say there's a element of him being the best of a bad bunch, I'd say. Dark Kite. Is this Jonathan's alternate account? Because you spell Dark Knight incorrectly. It says, hi, how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times. Stefan says, the green kit is such a bad idea. No team has ever won anything in green. You might be onto something there. I mean, on the positive with the green kit is that they camouflage into the pitch, so I don't actually have to see them. I can just pretend they're not there. That's one positive. But other than that, it's we'd be scraping the bottom of the barrel. I think Arsenal are winning it at this point, unfortunately. McAllister, ooh, Wirtz! Motherfucker just smacked it right at the keeper. It is getting a bit close, I can't lie. With respect to the number of games that remain. I still think if I had to bet, I'd still go for City. But it is getting a bit close. It is getting a bit uncomfortable. Should I say? Yep, 1-0 already. Stefan says, will you promise to never again be away for 3 weeks, 10 days max? Yeah. The thing is, I only have so much holiday I can take for work. You only get so many days. So it'll probably be... I noticed I'm going to miss the City game. I won't be here for the City game because I'm in Spain. So I don't know if I mentioned that. But the next big holiday will be next year probably. Maybe like 10 days in October. Possibly, but yeah, you've got another year of me where hopefully I should not be away as much. King Slot says United aren't playing, so I took a break. Like them, same if international football's on. Fair enough. So Buzzlight just coming up a bit short. Grace is wondering what I was wondering in terms of why Jonathan's saying hi so many times. Yuri says, final predictions. I mean, my original prediction was a 2-0. So that's already wrong. I've been proven to be a clueless clown after about 5 minutes. I'll go for 2-1. How about you? Oh, is it not your account, Jonathan? Okay. I thought it might be your account. Yuri says Bayern get kicked out by a kebab team. or a hair transplant team. But I hope not. Scott says, how's the game going so far? Have you ever like walked into your room half asleep and then stepped on a plug? And then you know that immediate feeling that happens about 0.7 seconds after you stand on a plug? This is the shit that I'm watching right now. I hope that summarizes it nicely. I'm not talking about 5 seconds after you step on the plug, because then you start to, it starts to go away. I'm talking about that immediate impact. That is how I would kind of summarize it. C goes to away games, wishing for a bad view so I don't have to watch our Dross performances. You might be onto something there. I think that's a pretty intelligent way of doing things. might have to copy that. Ten Hag more than Slot, says Mr. Default. Yeah, not sure about that. I know it hasn't gone well for Slot this year, and I would be in favour of a change, given the person that you bring in is better than Slot. There's sufficient people who are better than Slot, but there's also people that are worse than Slot, like Steven Gerrard. But what I hope happens is they bring someone else in, and then time tends to be a healer, and then after that, hopefully he'll be remembered a bit more fondly. Grace might be going to Italy in September. Very nice. Whereabouts in Italy? How many days do you have left? In terms of this year, I've got 20 left, which is like 4 weeks. But I don't like doing holidays when it's hot, because I don't like hot weather. So I might use like 5 days in May, maybe. But then after that, it will be like October time. Yeah, or they can also camouflage into the background. Liverpool getting knocked out by Galatasaray, says Max. I mean, if things were to continue this way, that is what would happen. It would just be embarrassing. Gregory says Wirtz is going to have a masterclass today. I hope so. I just need somebody to step up, whether it's Wirtz, whether it's... I was going to say whether it's Joe Gomez, because he's the one I can see, but he's probably not going to be the one. But yeah. Whether it's Wirtz or somebody... Like, fucking hell, wake up! Sorry. Galatasaray just did a cross, right? And it kind of turned into a shot, and it almost went in. Mamardashvili needs to wake up. I mean, I do feel a bit of sympathy for him, because he doesn't get to play. Even in cups and things, so he's coming in a bit cold. But come on, man, sort yourself out. Nicholas says chin up. I do that anyway, because if I keep my chin down, you see my double chin, and to be honest, no one wants to see that. Reluctant Gamer says, hey, how are you doing? Hope you are good. You've completed it already? I haven't even got it yet. Why is my watch going off? I don't know. I think my watch is counting this as exercise, because I'm getting that annoyed. You've completed it already. I haven't even bought it yet. Is it good? What's the score out of 10? Is it better than the other Resident Evils? Do tell. Oh, Grace is going to Rome. Very nice. I went to Rome in December. Barley man. Slow toothless. Is that slow? Oh, sorry. How toothless is this attack? We should be 2-0 up. What's going on here? I think it's the same story that we've seen all season, in the sense that there's no pace in this attack. I was complaining about this a couple of months ago, that there's just no pace in the attack. Last year you had Diaz, last year you had Nunez, and I appreciate Diaz was not the best player, and I appreciate Nunez was not the smartest player, but at least they had pace and energy to burn. But in this team, where's the pace? There's no pace. Salah's not quick anymore, which is fine. I don't blame him for that, because he's getting close to retirement age now and all that. But Salah's not raw pace anymore. Gakpo's never been raw pace. Ekitike is okay, but he's not what I'd class as raw pace. Wirtz is definitely not raw pace, because his little legs can only take him so far. There's no pace in the team. And I think at the very least you need one pacey outlet to be successful. So soon... Oh, fucking hell. Oh, good save there by Mamardashvili. I think you just need a bit of pace. Reluctant Gamer says, did you go to Tokyo? I did. I was there for 3 weeks and I came back on the weekend. It was amazing. Gotta say, really, really liked it. It was modern in certain ways, and I'd say it was more. It reminded me more of the 90s in certain other ways, but I really liked it. Stefan says, as you are a girl, did you celebrate International Women's Day on the 8th of March? I did not, but I didn't know it was International Women's Day, despite being a girl. So I think I might have to celebrate tomorrow to make up for that. Grace says, what do you even do for work? Nothing interesting. But it pays the bills. 3-0 full time. Let's hope not. Jonathan says, I snatch chains. Stefan says, please can you say the inappropriate, cancelable things you're going to say, but didn't. Yeah, I'd get cancelled if I said some of the things that go on in my head. Is this the strongest 11 besides the right back position? And besides the goalkeeper position. So I think strongest 11 would have Alisson. Right back position, you've mentioned. Van Dijk, Konate. I'd still put Kerkez in the strongest 11. Then McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Wirtz, Ekitike, Salah. I'd find a way to put Isak in there. I appreciate he's not everyone's cup of tea, but I'd put Isak in there. Is Frimpong injured again? I don't know what's happening with Frimpong, to be honest. But last I heard he was injured and he came back. But why is he not starting? I wonder if he's on the bench. What's the best football match you've ever been to? Hopefully the next one. I'm going to Liverpool versus Dortmund end of the month. It's a Legends game again. But hopefully the next one. Thiago's going to be there. Jurgen Klopp's going to be there. So I'm hoping it'll be that one. Dan says, Liverpool have started off dreadful. I mean, I think we can just put that tombstone. Sorry, I was going to say we can put that phrase on Liverpool's tombstone, but I was thinking let's I don't know. Let's replace "You'll Never Walk Alone" with "Liverpool have started off dreadful," because that tends to be what happens. Grace says, you still haven't told us the juicy details. To be honest, there were not really many juicy details as such. It was a conventional holiday. Lot of did all the kind of typical touristy things. What I will say, I don't like Japanese food. I don't like it. Like, I've had it in England and I thought, okay, when I go to Japan, I'll try it there. I tried sushi, which is like £30. Not it for me. I tried ramen, which is in like a special shop where like the restaurant is in the middle and you're all sitting around the perimeter and it kind of comes to you on a plate. It's fine, but not my thing. But I will say, they did have a very good pizza in Tokyo. Is Tokyo your top 3? Yeah, it would definitely be top 3 alongside Canada and New York, 100%. Fluffy says he works at Nando's. it'd be kind of cool to work at Nando's. Do you get free food if you work at Nando's? You probably do, but then you might get sick of the taste of it eventually. You have City in the next FA Cup tie. Indeed we do, on the 4th of April, and to make matters worse, it is a away game. So Liverpool always get screwed over by the draws. City will probably win that, to be honest. Robertson is a better player than Kerkez. I hear where you're coming from. And I think that argument becomes more compelling given Robertson played the last game, got a goal and an assist, and looked pretty good. So there is definitely an argument that Robertson would be in your Oh fuck me! Konate completely missed the ball, but thankfully Osman hits it into the sky. Liverpool need to wake up, man. Liverpool are doing shit. Doing crap. Can I just miss? How can you miss How can you miss the ball? How can you miss the ball like that? But yeah, there's an argument for Robertson, I'd say. Fish says Messi and Ronaldo to Newcastle. I doubt it. Reluctant Gamer says, oh, speaking of, you were asking about Tokyo. There's some anime figures on that shelf now. Some that I got. It's like a really big thing there. There's so many gigantic kind of anime shops. I'm not a huge anime guy, but I felt like I just had to get something. It's one of those things. Isak has to start in the future. He's a class player, just unfortunate with the injuries. Yeah, I think he has to start. And I don't think you pay 130 million for a striker to be a backup. I think as soon as he's fit, I think he's gonna go in. Jonathan snatches change. Does that mean that you mug people? Is that what that means? Under the Floodlights is making me feel even better by stating Galatasaray haven't lost at home in the knockout stages since 1973. Well, that is comforting. That is comforting. I was tempted to say hopefully today we'll break that, but they haven't really shown anything to break that. I went to the United game at St. James's Park. Was a good win. Nice. Oh, was that like 2-1? 2-1 or something? I think. Grace tried sushi the other week and it's so mid. Yeah, I agree with you. Like I've never really liked sushi. But then I figured, you know what? Okay, going to Tokyo, maybe in Japan it's better. And it was a bit better, but it's still not doing it for me. I've at least confirmed, you know what, I'm not a sushi person. It's just meh. And I tried tuna sushi, I tried chicken sushi, it's just not it. I agree with you. Jonathan is saying racist guy, I like Nando's. Nando's is cool. It's a bit expensive now, but it is cool. Robertson's going to a World Cup, Kirkes isn't. I think what they're trying to do is, I don't want to say force Kirkes into the team, but they're just trying to... I think they have a consideration that Kirkes is here for the long term, so I think they're just trying to bake him into the team like that. Curtis Jones is our only hope. Well, if there's something that has made me feel even worse, he will probably come on in the second half. And for all his faults, at least he shows a bit of energy. Grace says he probably works as an IT person because he's good on computer. Cannot confirm or deny, but you might be right. Grace has never had Nando's. It's alright. It's a bit overrated, but if you've never had it before, you're not really missing out. Yeah, I think she was talking about me. Did you find any new hats? No. I looked. I did look at caps and things, but I couldn't really. I'm very picky when it comes to caps, so I couldn't really find one that I liked. There was that woolly hat that I sent you a picture of, but I forgot. I ended up not getting it because I forgot. Dirk Kuyt is Jonathan's goat. What about Dirk Kuyt makes him your goat? What do you like about him specifically? Isak has a permanent residence in Liverpool A&E. Never mind the first 11. Yeah, I think he's probably sitting in Naby Keita's bed. You know, sometimes when hospital beds become available, somebody else goes in. He's probably sleeping in Keita's bed. Foul by Kirkes there. Grace says, when's next gaming stream? Potentially tomorrow. The thing is, I'm not really feeling Call of Duty at the moment. But I don't know. But tomorrow I've got time. Tomorrow I got the day off. So potentially tomorrow. How did you feel? You were 9 hours ahead in the future. It was weird. It was weird. It was weird waking up and seeing that there'd been a Premier League game. Like that was weird. Like it'd be weird going to sleep and seeing, okay, there's a Premier League game in like 2 hours, and then it'd be weird. So I'd wake up and check the Premier League results. That was really strange. I can't lie. That was really strange. And I still haven't 100% adjusted to the time difference. Like even now, back in England, I'm still waking up at like 5 a.m. Jonathan likes Dirk Kuyt's blonde hair. Fair enough. He's kind of styled the hair now. It's a lot straighter. AI is saying 1-1. Grace is saying get in. I can just see a corner. Am I like proper behind? In which case I might need to refresh. All I can see is a corner, but I'm gonna try refreshing after this. Salah arguing with the keeper. No, I have not seen no goal. I was ready for that to go in, but I've not seen any goal. King Sloth got a 25 win streak on COD yesterday. Wow. Is that enough for the nuke? Is that how it works? If you get 25, you get the nuke? We look toothless, honestly, says Jalil. That is correct. But it's the same thing, isn't it? It's just the same. It's the same thing every game. Toothless, slow. The thing is, I think in order to be less toothless, in order to have teeth, well, it's a good thing that they're playing a Turkish team if they need teeth. But irrespective of that, I think they need a bit of pace. And unfortunately, the window to get somebody pacey is gone. So I think this is just going to continue. Newcastle got Barcelona. Yeah, 8 o'clock kickoff tonight. Could have got tickets for 120 quid, but seats right at the top, couldn't be bothered with the stairs. Fair enough. Probably harder to see as well. Oh, right. That was the get in. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, no, tomorrow I got a day off. So I could do a gaming stream tomorrow. I really don't feel like playing Call of Duty because, before I left, I was playing it a lot. And to be fair, I was playing offline. Not offline. I was playing it but not streaming it yesterday, and it just wasn't hitting the same. Jonathan says, "Can you tell me something about Dirk Kuyt?" I can try. It depends on the question, on what the question is, and if it pertains to his sexual preferences or anything like that you usually ask, then I'm not sure I can answer that, but I can try, and I can also guess. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's been no goal. I thought Black Ops 6 was better than Black Ops 7. I agree. And I also thought, in terms of all the kind of newer Call of Duty games, I think the best one was Modern Warfare 2019. And again, I'm limiting this more to the newer ones. But I think that Modern Warfare in 2019, I really like that. With the ship map. Ship map was my favorite map. I would just run around with the riot shield on my back. So they couldn't shoot me in the back, and I just run around with a automatic shotgun. It was it was a lot of fun, but you don't have the riot shield anymore. Salah and the goalkeeper are arguing about who's winning Love Island. Trust me, it's not about football. That would not surprise me. Gala is goated. I mean, you don't need to be goated to beat this team, but They've even had more possession. They've had 52%. Dirk Kuyt is from Holland. I believe he was signed from Feyenoord. It was either 7 million or 9 million. It was something like that. Yeah, I do that sometimes. sometimes I play games but I don't stream. Sometimes when say I have 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I just dip in. And you know what? With Tormented Souls 2, I don't know if I can be bothered with that game either. Because the puzzles are so hard. I'll see if I can buy a new game tonight. And maybe try that. C_K cubed says Alameo 1-0. Yes, that's our life currently. Getting really excited about watching this team and then getting your hopes up and then conceding. Unfortunately. Yeah, Modern Warfare 2019. That was the one. Shoot House. Yeah, Shoot House. Yeah, that one was good. Piccadilly was alright. Shipmut was my favorite. His Ekatike, I would just I would play 24/7 Shipmut. But with a header, no. But yeah, good maps. Good maps that were not too big, and I think that's important. Ben S says Salah's past his best. I mean, he's so far past his best that his best is currently in a different jurisdiction. He can't see his best anymore. I wonder if a bit of pace would help him. Because last year you had Diaz, you had Nunes, and I appreciate they were not the best, but at least you had a bit of pace. I don't know if there was a bit of pace in the team, whether that would make things better, but who knows. Is Liverpool being so poor this year contributing to the war in Iran? It possibly could. I know previously you blamed the war in Iran on me not being here. So if I can blame it on Liverpool instead of myself, then I'm happy to go with that. 100% happy to go with that. Jeffrey says, how's it? It's been long. It has been long. I've not been here for a month. But yeah, I'm good. Had a nice holiday. Unfortunately, I come back to watching this useless team concede again after 5 minutes. I swear, before I left, Liverpool would always concede within 5 minutes. I then disappear, and Liverpool don't concede within 5 minutes. And then as soon as I get back, Liverpool start conceding within 5 minutes again. So I think I'm possibly the bad luck. Billy says, "How's your holiday?" It was good. Spent most of it in Tokyo. I went to Yokohama, which is where Wataru Endo is from. I did not see Wataru Endo, but Yokohama was nice. Yokohama is more relaxed, but Tokyo was really good. Yeah, very busy. What I will say, I like lots of things about it. Naturally, like the obvious things that you can expect. Really like that. There were some things that I didn't like. In particular, how busy it was. So sometimes I'd get the tube, as in the metro, back at like 10 o'clock at night when it's pitch black. The tubes and the trains are still packed. So you can get a train back at 10 o'clock at night. You are not going to get a seat. On the flip side, I had an early flight back and I had to get on the tube at 6 a.m. in the morning. So I was thinking, at 6 a.m. in the morning, at least I'll get a seat with my bags. Nope. So that's one thing I'd say I didn't like about Tokyo, just how busy it is and how you are never getting a seat. And the thing is as well, like sometimes I'd get a seat and then an old person would come on, so then I'd give them my seat. So I would kind of screw myself over as well. But I'd say other than that, it was really good. I'd say. Grace says, I was gonna ask if you wanted to stream on Sunday. Now I would have been too jet lagged. I'm still kind of jet lagged, but I'll try and do some gaming tomorrow. Can't say much. We have PSG tomorrow. Fair enough. Jonathan says, was Dirk Kuyt a good dribbler? Not really, to be honest with you. Like, Rafa Benitez used to play him on the right wing for a bit. But he always looked a bit clumsy. He always looked a bit clumsy on the wing, to be honest with you. So I'd say no, even though he used to play as a winger. Hard Hat was good. I'm trying to remember which one Hard Hat was. Was Hard Hat like the construction site? If it was, that one was good as well. That game had all the good maps. Jonathan says, are you gooning? 100% I am. Don't play those games. Play that Requiem game. Maybe. Could do. Do you think Slot will get sacked at the end of the season? Unfortunately, I can see a world where he doesn't get sacked. Unfortunately. I think if they get Champions League, I think they might not sack him. I think the sacking decision is dependent on who they can bring in as a replacement. I don't think they'll just sack him and then be like, oh shit, what do we do now? I think they'll only sack him if they've got a replacement lined up. But I don't think it's 100% certain that they will sack him. I think it's more likely, and I also want it to happen, but I don't think it's 100% given. Mo is goated, but not as good as Eden Hazard. I'd put Salah above Hazard, to be fair. Have you seen the new Scary Movie trailer? I have not. I might need to check that out. But I've seen an advert for it. Like, I've seen some sort of advert for it. Shit, I've not put my watch on Do Not Disturb. That could be quite bad. There you go. Because sometimes I just flash my watch and then you might see something that pops up. They are so poor, they are breaking records. I mean, they're breaking records. It's not the kind of records they want to break, but they're also, I was going to say breaking the record of the amount of patience that I have, but I think that's the wrong way of phrasing it. Spurs will be in the Championship. That would be disastrous for them, especially with kind of their new stadium. But they don't really seem to be showing any signs of improvement, so you might be onto something. Bailey says, I'll be back at the end of the match if I don't fall asleep, so remember me. I will remember you. In Tokyo, did most people were able to speak English too? Yeah, a lot of it is kind of signposted in English, if that makes sense. So all the signs pretty much are in English and Japanese. But yeah, sometimes you'll need to speak to people. And yeah, most people know English. You just need to kind of learn how to say thank you and hello and that sort of thing. So I'd say kind of thank you and hello in Japanese, but the main conversation would be in English. And yeah, they seem to know. They seem to know because it's very touristy. Yeah, I know 2 words of Japanese. I don't know if that counts. Just 2 words. Did you use Uber taxi in Tokyo? I did book one to get to a certain place, but it didn't turn up. It said like it's too busy, wait another 10 minutes, and then I booked again and it said it's too busy, wait another 10 minutes. And then at that point I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna walk it, and then I just ended up walking it. It's half time, by the way. So it was in my plans to book a taxi, but after waiting for 20 minutes I was refreshed. So I didn't need to, I just walked it in the end. But yeah, in total, I walked about 16 miles a day. And I still put on weight. A lot of fried food. So I still put on weight. Jonathan says, you are old as well. Thank you very much, Jonathan. I appreciate that. Jonathan says, play chess. I always find chess a bit hard. You need to give me some lessons on chess. Javi Alonso is available. He's available. Well, he's out of work. I don't know whether he'd want to come to Liverpool, but I think he probably would. So I'd say if Alonso wants to come, I think he's the type of manager that you'd be willing to sack Slot for, especially since Alonso has that history with Frimpong, especially since Alonso has that history with Wirtz. I'd say if Alonso gives indications, and to be honest, if they're having these conversations, they're probably having these conversations now. But if Alonso's available and Alonso wants to come, then they should be all on that. Hard Hat was the constructions. Yeah, I remember that one. Modern Warfare 2019. That was the best. That was the best Call of Duty, 100%. Slot got manager. I think he was nominated for it, but even just kind of nominating for it is kind of wild. Based on what? Based on what? Manager of the month. The only thing he's managing is my fucking patience. Jonathan says play chess. I to be honest, I vaguely know the rules. Like pawn can move diagonally. No, pawn moves forward, but it can take diagonally, right? And then is it rook that can go all the way up, all the way right? King can move in any direction, but is that not? I don't really know the rules. Billy said yes. Should have started Rio. He was class on Friday, and he was. Should have started Rio. He was in class on Friday because he's still in school. But that was so bad. But yeah, Rio's good whenever he's given the opportunity. The poor guy is just never given an opportunity. Hopefully he'll bring him on, but what can the poor guy do in 45 minutes? And let's be honest, he's not going to bring him on at half time. He's probably going to wait until the 85th minute and then bring the poor guy on. I got second on Call of Duty the other day in Overload. That's pretty impressive, to be fair. Second's pretty good. Do your co-workers watch your live? They've come across me sometimes, but I don't know if it's proactively. So your hairline is cooked. Hairline is non-existent. That's why this cap is on. This team is so bad. Indeed they are. And you could rhyme it. You could rhyme that last word. You could say this team is so bad. This team is so sad. This team is so mad. All of those would apply. Because this team is shite. Would you rather Liverpool win Champions League and keep Slot, or lose the final and get Alonso? Nah, I'd go for the first one because it's still a Champions League. To be fair, I'd within those two, I'd take the Champions League and keep Slot, because to be honest, you can still sack Slot the next year and get Alonso, but it would still count as a seventh Champions League. Thomas, spitting facts, Slot is so shite. Indeed he is. I like how almost everything begins with an S or contains an S. Same old Liverpool, not looking after the ball, and players and managers are useless. That would be a perfect description of this season. Clueless tactically, clueless on the pitch. Slot is moaning to the assistant referee, but I don't know what he's moaning about. For me, I just think everything. I just think a source of a lot of the issues are the lack of pace. Fanta says Slot will save us. The reason why I'm pointing this out is because in Japan I had Fanta grape, and oh my god, it's the best drink I've ever had. It literally tastes like you're drinking crack. It's that good. Fanta grape, and apparently they're gonna bring it out in the UK. But you just reminded me, Fanta grape. It is so good. It's the best drink ever. But you are correct. You're not correct. But Fanta grape. Best drink I've ever had in my life. I've had enough of this manager. Bruh, bring me Xabi Alonso. If he wants to join, then I think Liverpool need to get on that. Grace appreciated the class joke at least. That's good. I'm glad somebody did. Do you think Liverpool will score? Unfortunately, they haven't it's the kind of naive thing to automatically say yes, but unfortunately, they haven't really showed any indication of that. I'd say not based on how things are working right now. They would need to make some tactical changes, maybe bring Rio on just to inject a bit of pace into the team. Jonathan says, "Shut up, Grace." As always. Slot should have gone in November. My point where I started to lose faith was the PSV loss. Like I can take the 3-0 loss to Man City at home. Like I know it's not acceptable, but I can understand it. But when they lost 4-1 at home to PSV, that was my first point where I was starting to lose faith. What is the game plan? The game plan is no tactics, no plan, just pray and hope you make it. Grace is telling Jonathan to shut up. Will Liverpool score? I don't see. I mean, hopefully, but unfortunately, I don't see it happening. Fortunately, I don't see it happening. They're just showing replays. Faisal has a suggestion about how the game could potentially get postponed. I mean, if that does happen, I don't have to ever watch Konate again, so there's a positive. Predictions for the rest of the game: more misery, more depression, more anguish. Liverpool might get a lucky goal, but then Galatasaray will probably score. That's probably what will happen. Oh shit! Yeah, good point. Chippy chips. Cole Palmer. They gotta be chippy chips from the Chinese. And he's right about that, to be fair. They gotta be chippy chips, otherwise you don't get them. Bro, we missed so many chances. Indeed we did, and it's the story of our lives at the moment. It's like bash the goal, bash the goal, bash the goal, bash the goal. Try. Nothing goes in, concede. It's like if you think of like a boxer, like you're throwing like 1,000 punches and every single punch misses, but then the other boxer throws one counter, smacks you in the face and doesn't knock you out but floors you. And this is what always happens. Sham says, "Can I say something controversial?" Go for it. Stefan says, "Poker is the king of all games." I've never played poker. I don't know if that would disappoint you. I don't know what the rules are. I've never played. Yeah, that is the real question. But Fanta Grape, it was so good. And then I Googled it. Why don't we have Fanta Grape in England? And then when I Googled it, it then brought up a news story that they're bringing out Fanta Grape in England. So when they do, you need to get on that because it's pretty amazing. Galatasaray, the best team in Turkey. To be honest, they could be the worst team in Turkey and they'd probably still be winning. Slop. I don't know if that's a typo, but I like that anyway. Akash says, "Has Liverpool been playing the usual, like knocking on the door really, really hard for the first 5-10 minutes and then nothing goes in and then they concede?" Ever thought of doing halftime quizzes? I haven't thought of that, but it might be a good suggestion. If I can try and kind of incorporate that. Kevin with a bit of positivity, which I like, to be fair. Maybe I've been a bit too negative. If we can keep it 1-0, we'll be okay. Do you think it'll be 1-1 or do you think it'll be 2-1? Dollar sign says, "We ain't playing that bad. Need to be more clinical and way better defensively." Fair enough. Willie, give me a second. Emma, Dom, Sabazlight, Kirkes and Ibu have been shocking. Absolutely shocking. They don't seem to know it's UCL kickoff. I'd say Konate has probably been the worst one. There was that cross that went in and he tried to kick it away and he just missed the ball. You know when sometimes You know when sometimes a player does something and you think I could have done that better myself? That's how Konate makes me feel sometimes. Chippy Chip says vinegar or no vinegar. Oh, you have to get vinegar. You have to get salt and vinegar on chips. 100%. How about you? Your slot defender? No. I want him gone, but you'd have to bring the right person in. I think there's people that are better than Slot, but I'm also aware there's people that are worse than Slot. But generally speaking, I want him gone, and I want them to bring somebody better in. Chulu, who I believe is a Chelsea fan, says Liverpool midfield is dead. That is true. Sub them out. You are really lucky. Galatasaray are crap as Liverpool. You should be 4-0 down. The midfield is dead, and I think the attack also lacks pace. That's I think if the attack had a bit of pace, I think it would help things significantly. But Wirtz is not quick. Salah's not quick anymore. Ekitike is not particularly quick. I think that's the main bottleneck. Faisal says Galatasaray is slots last straw. Has to be no. I mean, there's an argument that the last straw should have been the PSV game. To be honest with you, is that Bolo Zenden? They got Bolo Zenden in the studio. Sorry, I was thinking that guy looks familiar, and then I realized that's Bolo Zenden. Used to play for Liverpool, number 32. He was shite as well, but Benitez used to love him. But anyway, I don't think it will be his last straw. I think they're just gonna hold on until the end of the season. Chippy Chips, you'll beat them at Anfield anyway. They were awful at Juve. Let's hope so. I just wish we'd stop making it so difficult. Jonathan says Chippy Chips with a chippy dig. Now he is chipping it. Cole Palmer is so cold. Indeed he is. Jonathan loves Cole. I like Cole Palmer as well, to be fair. I think he's underrated at times. Grace is gonna try the Fanta grape. That KA, I've never had that. Is that like, what is that? Can you I think I've seen that, but I've never actually had that. Is it like grape flavor or what is that? Jonathan says he kissed Cole Palmer and I need to try Cole Palmer. I mean, I'm not sure Cole Palmer will be particularly happy about it. Oh my god, Gakpo's warming up. What the fuck you? I'd rather see a second goal go in. I'd rather see a third goal go in, and I'd rather see an asteroid hit the fucking stadium than see Cody Gakpo fucking warming up. At least Rio's warming up. Why is Gakpo warming up? We are dreadful. Jesus Christ. Dreadful. We are dreadful. I agree with you. Shocking first half. I agree. No pace, no urgency. Chippy Chips. I agree with Chippy Chips. You definitely need vinegar on Chippy Chips. These boys aren't ready to play. Lack self-belief. Slot needs to go. He definitely has no clue. I agree with all of that. Unfortunately, I don't think they're gonna get rid of him. I think they're gonna wait till the end of the season. Unfortunately. Rio got to come on, and to be honest, still don't want to. Yeah, I agree, but unfortunately, when I was about to cry 2 minutes ago, I just saw Gakpo warming up. I think he's still on the touchline, though. I don't think he's come on. Jonathan says, "Hi, it's me, Johnny. You've changed the accounts, which is fair enough." I'm the same with no tactic, Carrick. Good for the end of the season. Then we go get a world-class man. Yeah. It makes sense. I don't think you'll fall into the trap that you've fallen into previously, whereby you get a underqualified, and I don't mean that as an insult. If anything, it's a compliment. But you get an underqualified guy and you give him a full-time contract. I think you've learnt from that. You get Carrick to do a job and then get somebody with more pedigree at the end of the year. Agree with that. More conviction from Galatasaray. Why Salah still starting? There's no kind of other options, unfortunately. Yeah, Wirtz definitely looked a lot better for kind of Leverkusen. I appreciate it's a more physical league, but this is Champions League. I mean, it's not this. This is like Galatasaray in the Champions League is not. Oh, good shot by Sabazlai. You can't. I don't think we can use the physical excuse there because it's Champions League. How did he choose Kirkes over Robbo? I think they just want to persevere with Kirkes now because he's here for the long term. Grace is saying, what happened to your Grace hater account? That's not my account. That's Jonathan's account. Sunny's correct. You need to try. I thought Fanta fruit twist was the best. And Fanta fruit twist is very, very good. But in Japan, I had Fanta melon, which was a 10 out of 10. Okay, Fanta melon is a 10 out of 10. And Fanta grape, which is an 11 out of 10. Best thing I ever had in my life. And apparently they're going to bring out... Oh, McAllister just hits it wide. Apparently they're going to bring Fanta grape to the UK. So when they do, you need to try it. And then you need to come back to me. Because I don't know what they put in that. But that thing was amazing. All right, so that KA drink is like Lilt that we used to have back in the day. Ah, right. Okay, so it's a mix. I've never had it before, you know. I've seen it. Has it got like palm trees on it? Has it got palm trees on it? I've seen it, but like I've never bought it. But if you're saying it's good, next time I go shops and if I see it, I'll buy it. And then I will report back. Sunny is saying need to see Rio. Is that James Milner? But yeah, we do need to see Rio because Rio's the only one with a bit of pace in this team. And the funny thing is as well, whenever Rio gets the ball, you can see opposition defenders get a bit scared because they think, what's this guy going to do? We don't know what this guy's going to do. Is he going to go outside? Is he going to go inside? Is he going to do a cartwheel? Is he going to start doing star jumps? I mean, we don't know what he's going to do. So just that unpredictability of Rio, I think, is one of his strengths. Because Salah does not have unpredictability. Because he's going to cut inside onto his left. Gakpo definitely doesn't have unpredictability because he's going to cut inside onto his right. But Rio's got that unpredictability, which makes him important. But unfortunately, the manager doesn't play him. Let me set the timer. Like 48 minutes, 33. Fuck it. Shit. That'll do. I like how Grace is giving it back to Jonathan today. Grace is not being nice to Jonathan anymore. Grace is like, you shut up. Why is Gravenberch always so high as well? Like I know Gravenberch gets a couple of goals here and there, but like surely you need Gravenberch to be sitting and protecting the defense. 1-0 isn't a bad result. It's not a bad result, you're right. It's not the best result. Maybe I'm being greedy, but it's not the worst result. Yeah, chippy chips are the best chips, 100%. We're forced to. There's only, it's the only thing that can kind of bring us happiness at this point. Anything other than watching this colossal mess on the pitch. Calypso, I've not heard of that. Isn't Calypso like the kind of ice lolly thing? Keeping Kirkes on whilst he's on a yellow is crazy. We need Robertson. And Robertson's in good form. He did get a goal the other day. And he did get an assist. So you think, okay, he's probably got a bit of confidence. He's probably one of the subs that Slot's going to make. But unfortunately, he'll probably be a bit too late. Okay, I'll try it then. Since you're saying it's good, I will give it a try. How's it going, Ethan? Hope you are good. Hope all is well in Telford. I used to work in Telford like 15 years ago, but I hope you are good. How do you make comments, show? That's a very complicated explanation. Ad says, why am I never surprised seeing Liverpool losing these days? Because you're a logical and clever human being. You're a smart person. So if you're a smart person, then it would not surprise you. It would just not be a surprise. Jonathan is hungry. Potentially eat something. What are you going to eat? That is the question. Ibrahim says, is first and second or only one game? First and second. So there's two legs for this. This is the first leg, and then there will be a second leg at Anfield. Esport Gamer says, yo bro, it's me. How you doing, esports? Hope you're good. Ads loves the response. No worries. Only stating facts. Grace to Leipzig. What position is she going to play? That is the question. Chicken Wing, also known as Doge, also known as Custard Cream Sandwich, says, would you go Tokyo again? I would, yeah. Like, I wouldn't be in any rush to go, because I just went and I was there for 3 weeks. But I would definitely go again. I do kind of miss it. But to be honest, if I was to go to Japan again, I might go Osaka or like more of the West Coast side. But yeah, I would go. I would 100% go, generally speaking. You best not be the guy that rings me about my PPI claim. I mean, it might be. I might have to conduct legal action against you if this drink that you're recommending is no good. So you never know. Take care, Jonathan. Enjoy your lunch or dinner even. Esports Gamer says, yo bro, it's me. How's it going? Grace says, have you tried Pepsi gingerbread? That sounds disgusting. I've not tried it. But just the kind of sound of it is kind of disgusting. So no, I've not tried that. Is that like a new flavor they brought out? I like how Grace is giving it back. Grace is giving it back to Jonathan. Jonathan saying, shut up, Grace. I'm leaving because you talk too much. And Grace is saying, you shut up. I'm liking this. I'm liking the I wanted to say change in attitude, but I'm liking it. Harry says raw indeed. Chicken Wing says, where and when is the next holiday? Lol. Good question. Bank holiday, I'm going to Madrid for 3 days, which there was no football matches when I booked it. So I thought, yeah, you know what? Go for 3 days. And then today I've noticed there's the Man City game. So I'm going to miss the Man City game. But there was no Man City game when I booked it. But then after Madrid, I think I'm probably going to chill out. I probably won't do any more holidays until September, October time. King Slot says, I'm a United fan. You can trust me. Well, that fills me with confidence. Ibrahim Kanu says, remember this name. I will be a player for Liverpool. I will remember it. What position do you play? There was Kanu that used to play for Arsenal, who was a striker. And then I think he went to Portsmouth. Was it Portsmouth he went to after Arsenal? So do you also play striker or do you play a different position? Harry says, United. I think you're still above us in the league, aren't you? I think. I've not checked the table. But I think... just wide. I think you might still be above us. So I can't even complain. And I'm not going to make excuses like, it's like... If you're above us, then you deserve to be above us. Esports says, bro, they could have started Robertson. I'm surprised they didn't start Robertson, to be honest. Especially after he got a goal and an assist in that game. Chicken Wing says, guys, stop before I have to step in. It's all right. You probably don't need to. You probably don't need to stop the fight. Grace is just sticking up for herself. Don't worry, you won't miss much. Just a City training session. Yeah. I mean, I was a bit disappointed to be on holiday for that game. So Buzz like, but of all the games to miss, I kind of don't mind missing that game because I think we're going to get absolutely battered. It's not just City, it's City away. And I think the last City away game was maybe October time and it was a 3-0 loss. So yeah, from a certain perspective, I don't mind missing that game. Tony says Liverpool are so cooked. Liverpool are beyond cooked. Liverpool are overcooked. Liverpool have been left in the oven past the allotted time to the point where we are now practically burning and there's smoke coming out of us. And we're about 5 minutes away from setting off the fire alarm. So that's the level of cooked that we are. We were a well done steak about half an hour ago, but we are nothing but ashes in a pan at this point. Stefan says, what's your current gender? Well, you did call me a female earlier because of what was it? Women's Day? So since you called me a female, I'll go with that. Kanu plays striker. Nice. So you said you're going to join Liverpool. And you said remember the name. So I will remember the name. Wolves would beat Galatasaray. Liverpool are trash. And I like how you put 2 H's just to emphasize. I was going to say, speaking of trash, Robertson's coming on, but that's a bit unfair. Why does Robertson stick his hands all the way down his shorts when he's tucking his shirts in? It just looks a bit kind of dodgy. Bro, you don't need to tuck your hands that far down into your shorts when you're tucking your shirt in. He always does this, and I always think that looks a bit dodgy. But he is coming on, and Frimpong's also coming on. The Galatasaray atmosphere is intimidating. What is also intimidating are Toblerones in general. Have you seen those massive Toblerones that are like the size of human beings? They are also intimidating. So that fits your username. Speaking of Toblerone, I gotta say white Toblerone is the best one. I don't know if that's controversial. And I don't know, since Toblerone is your name, whether you have any opinions on this. But I think white Toblerone is probably the best one. I tend not to buy it though, because if I buy it, I just eat all of it. You know how you're supposed to break it off and just have one piece of it? I can't be doing that. So then I tend to not buy it because it's nice. Salah's coming off for Frimpong. So Frimpong is probably going to go right wing. And Robertson's on for Kirkes. So Robertson's got opportunity to impress. Salah's off, which makes sense because Salah's not really done much. We're 3rd and 6th, and you're 6th. I'm getting vertigo looking down at you. Understandable. The thing is, though, we can't even make any excuses for it. It's like we can't say, oh, we've had injuries. I never like kind of making excuses. I think you're 3rd because you deserve to be 3rd. We're 6th because we deserve to be 6th. I think if it irritates us so much, we should have been better. So I'd say, you know what? Fair enough. Oh, fuck me. Robertson's first contribution is giving the ball away. Think Liverpool can bring this back? They can bring it back, but it's going to be tough. Hassan says, and some Liverpool fans think they are winning the Champions League. They've got a better chance of winning the Champions League than the Premier League. But yeah, play like this. Play like this. You're not going to win anything. You ain't going to win a beauty contest. You'll win an ugly contest, but that's probably not what you want to win. Well, they won't win anything doing this. Yeah, Toblerones are good. White Toblerone is the best one. Grace is a fan of Toblerone as well. It's good, but I don't buy it because I eat all of it in one go. Esports friend supports Liverpool and his favourite player is Alisson. Good choice. Alisson's unfortunately injured today. But oh fuck me, Kanate, what's he doing? What the fuck? What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? What the actual fuck was that? Did you fucking see that? Kanate trying to stick the ball in his ass. Kanate kind of try to I'm gobsmacked by that. Kanate with the lazy back pass, number one. I almost want that goal to stand just because of how silly it would make Kanate look. But it's been disallowed. I don't know for offside or something. But Kanate basically gave the ball away. And then Galatasaray were through. Kanate then had a second opportunity to intercept. And he completely messed that up. But I think the goal's been choked out for whatever reason. Salah's tired, maybe the fasting. Could be. But he's off now and Frimpong's on. What do you think about Newcastle versus Barcelona? Who's at home? Is it? Yeah, it's at St. James's Park, isn't it? It'll be a close game. I know Barcelona are in kind of much better form, but to be honest, I think it'll be a close game. Danny is correct. This has been poor. It has been very poor. But it's the same old story, isn't it? Galatasaray through again here. Unfortunately, I just think this is what we're gonna have, and this is what we're gonna see for the remainder of the season. And then in the summer, you would just hope that they would inject a bit of pace into this team, because there's just no pace at all. And I think that's what's holding them back. Oscar put $50 on Liverpool this game. Is their money as good as gone, or do they have a chance? I mean, I would hope they have a chance for your sake. But to be honest, they can't string two passes together. They can't even string two passes together. So unfortunately, it might be gone. Shay says Kanate is so bad. What the hell was that? Are you talking about the disallowed goal? The disallowed goal when number one, he passed it to the Galatasaray player, and then when he tried to defend it, he backheeled the ball into his asshole. Is it like did I see that correctly? But he just kind of kicked the ball back into his ass. But I'm like, what are you even doing as a professional footballer? I don't know what the hell that was. I have nothing, like the words of Shakespeare could not describe what the hell Kanate just did. Again, counter-attack, nothing happens. I did a football quiz last week with 3 teachers and Ash, and nobody knew any of the answers. Ooh, Ekatike should score. Oh, fuck me. Hits it over. Well, at least you got 6 out of 7. Yeah, I was thinking that. I didn't want to say it. Yeah, you're right. I mean, he is a donkey. It was the weirdest thing. Like, okay, you gave the ball away, okay, but then you somehow managed to kind of flip over and kick yourself in the arse as you tried to clear it. What even was that? I've never seen anything like that in my life. You reckon Liverpool will come back? The more time that passes, the less likely it is. They might get one goal, but if they do get a goal, it will be a lucky goal, to be honest with you. Probably wouldn't be deserved. Still about half an hour, but if they were to get a goal, it'd be a lucky goal. Grace says, why is it when you're live they lose, but when you're not here they win? I don't know. I think I'm just bad luck. But we were talking about this the other day. That when I'm not here, Liverpool score 5 goals. But when I am here, Liverpool play crap. Ekitike at the very least is showing a bit of fight, showing a bit of energy. There's a PlayStation advert on the side saying play has no limits. Well, Liverpool's play clearly has limits. And that limit is about 5 seconds of action and absolutely nothing afterwards. Yeah, Kanate's a donkey, as Shay was saying. Liverpool don't look like scoring, man. Glory to Liverpool. I mean, let's hope so. Liverpool need all the help they can get. Galatasaray through again. Gomez should deal with that. And he does. Ekitike's been dreadful, says Josh. Ekitike's been poor. I'd say the squad as a whole has been pretty dreadful. Salah did nothing before he got subbed off. Kirkes was poor. I think Wirtz has been invisible. I can't remember a single thing he's done other than kick the ball straight at the keeper. Oh, wow. Arjun's had enough. Ekitike needs to leave my club. Awful player. I think... I don't want to say this shows why Liverpool bought Isak, but I think even if you had an uninjured, 100% fit Alexander Isak in this team, it probably wouldn't make much difference. I just think the team as a whole has kind of played a bit poorly. Here's a bit of energy from McAllister and Szoboszlai, but it goes out for a corner. King Slot says, feel sorry for the Liverpool wags. There's no penetration here. Yeah, there's not going to be any Christmas babies. Is it Christmas 9 months from now? Yeah. Corner, Szoboszlai. Oh, has it gone in? It's gone in, but what's the beef? There's complaining. There's complaining. Aboudi says the ref is a joke. I think he's disallowed it. What's going on? It was just kind of chaos, and the ball was kind of bouncing around, and it's gone in. I don't know who. The ball just kind of pinballed in somehow into the net. I think it came off the Galatasaray player. Love how everyone blames the ref, not the team. Yeah, I think Liverpool have to be fair, take ownership for this performance. Soldier says, "Who's next?" It's a Liverpool goal, but I'm just has it been given? Is that an own goal? It's like an own goal by the Galatasaray player. There's a VAR check. Okay. There's a VAR check. Grace says, "Can I show you a picture of my Lego I did in the comments after this live?" Yeah, go ahead. Tag me in it. I'll have a look. Says Kanate, but most likely own goal. Yeah, Kanate is interestingly standing very far away. But what it was kind of pinballing, so it was really hard to see. But it looked like it came off the arm of the Galatasaray player and then somehow bumbled into the goal. Liverpool forgot how to play football. I mean, they forgot that a couple of months ago. Penalty, or goal, or Van Dijk. It's 1-1. On goal by Singo. Ben Mack says 1-1. Fluffy says, is it a goal? I think so. The guys are saying, Ben Mack is saying 1-1. WB is saying 1-1. Paul Soldier is saying on goal 1-1. My thing is still saying kind of VAR check. The ref is doing this. The ref is doing this. Does that mean handball? The ref is doing this. The ref is doing... It's been disallowed. What the fuck? What the hell? Bro, the ref. Disallowed. But like what? Like genuinely, like why? Because I thought that came off the hand of the Galatasaray player. Are they saying it was Kanate handball or something? King Slot says that's the luckiest goal ever. It looks like they've disallowed it. David says clear goal. Ruari might have pronounced that wrong, so sorry for that. Says it hit his hand, as in Kanate. Did it hit Kanate's hand? Oh, Van Dijk's hand, is it? It was kind of weird. Gakpo, Gravenberch. Liverpool just going for long shots here. Dave says, what happened? It was a really weird situation. So Bosley did a corner. It was an in-swinger, and the ball kind of pinballed and then ended up in the back of the net. And you thought, okay, 1-1. But apparently there was a Van Dijk handball. I genuinely don't think there was. If there is a handball, you can argue there's a Kanate handball. The thing is, I don't have the audio on. But if there's a handball, yeah, give me a sec. Sometimes if it's like a few messages, I don't care. But when they're going on and on and on. Sorry, Tiffany. There will be no breakfast at Tiffany's today. There you go. Two times they said. As in, did it hit Van Dijk's hand twice? Or Kanate's hand twice? Gakpo's on. Oh, wow. Really? They even slowed it down. I didn't really see it hitting Van Dijk's hand even once. I saw it hit Kanate's. Oh, okay, so Kanate then Van Dijk. Okay, maybe then. It didn't look like it to me, but if that's what they're saying, I'm sure we'll find out after the game that that's not what happened, and then I'm sure 3 days later there will be an apology. I just think thanks for the apology. 3 days later, it means absolutely F all. Grace has put it on the comments. Thank you. We'll shall take a look at that. Thank you very much. That's what the Romanian commentator says. Very nice. Do you speak Romanian? I know one word in Romanian. Frate. Frate, which means brother or friend. I think it means friend. Brate's brother, Frate's friend, I think. That's about as much Romanian as I know. King Slot says, let's praise the ref and VAR for once. There's no Liverpool today. What was the offside? I think they're saying it was a handball. I think they're saying it's a handball. Oh, is it going in? Is it going in? It's gone over. Yeah, Liverpool have gotten back into the game since that disallowed goal. It's re-energized them. When Konate slipped and didn't get the ball for his, I think it's probably Konate's fault. David is Romanian. Very nice. Do you know who Andrea Belan is? When I went to Bucharest a few years ago, Andrea Belan almost ran me over in her car. True story. I don't know if you know who she is, but she's like a Romanian pop star. She almost ran me over in her car. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Ooh, time for some rainbow cake. I wouldn't mind a bit of rainbow cake. I got a Victoria sponge in the fridge, which I'm going to attack after this. Fish says speak Polish. Oh God, you'd think I'd know Polish given how much Polish you speak, but I'd be struggling. User says we will lose or draw. No way we win this. Yeah, I think you're probably right. We might sneak a goal, but we don't deserve to win. David says we're going to win 3-0 at Anfield. I'd take that. I'm hoping Liverpool can get an equaliser at the very least here. Yeah, the whole disallowed goal thing. I need to see it again because it was just kind of pinballing up and down. Will Wirtz live up to the 150 million price tag? He shoots like a little girl. that's sometimes the kind of schoolyard insults are the best. Like, we don't say, okay, he's not technical enough, he's not physical enough, he's not mentally there, he's not in the right headspace. It's just shoots like a little girl. Those are the best odds, to be fair. I like how RI is saying Galatasaray will win this, hopefully. Again, I like how there's no kind of messing about. It's just very serious and to the point. Galatasaray will win this, hopefully. Good day. Good evening. It's just kind of funny. Anfield's not the same anymore. Why are people thinking Anfield will help us? I hear what you're saying. Gomez has gone down because he's played a game of football. So once he plays a game of football, he gets hurt again. Because that's what this guy does. So Gomez has gone down holding his neck. Oh, but Gomez is up. Do you have the receipt for Wirtz? I don't think so. The thing is, though, you can't really return things once you've opened up the package. I'm not sure distance selling regulations kind of apply on footballers. Hope that Gomez would score. I hope that Gomez gets his first goal as well. That would be hilarious and also amazing. Ollie Bolly says Liverpool were probably gonna win this one. My prediction before the game was 2-0. So my prediction was wrong after about 5 minutes because Galatasaray scored after 5 minutes. I think Liverpool could get an equaliser. Ever since that disallowed goal, they've showed a bit more energy and a bit more desire. But energy and desire only gets you so far. Crossed by Robertson, but saved. So it's gone out for a corner. David says, stop hating on Wirtz. He is in a new team, in a new league with new players. Very true, to be fair. And I think sometimes we forget he is still very young. He's only 22. And I think you can see the difference in progression from when he joined compared to where he is now. But I think generally speaking, it's perhaps unfair to single out any players today. Because I think collectively, they've just not been at it. Gakpo's got what happened to Gakpo? I think he might have punched Slot because Slot didn't play him. Is that what happened? He's got a cast on his right hand. That's the only thing I can conclude. We need to see if Slot has got any bruising on his head. And the good thing about bald people is you can tell pretty easily. Damiano says, honestly, we need a new manager ASAP. We do. Unfortunately, I get the feeling that no manager is going to want to come in at this stage. Galatasaray hit it wide. I think Liverpool will probably be targeting a kind of higher level accomplished manager. And I just get the feeling any higher level accomplished manager is not going to want to come in at this stage. I think unfortunately we're going to have to hold our breath until the summer. Fish is singing the song of his team. To be honest, your team, Fish, I think you're second in the league, aren't you? So you're not doing too badly. King Slot says, I finally figured out your job. It's an Apple genius at the Apple store. It's not. But to be fair, I did go to the Apple store the other day where I had an appointment with the genius for my AirPods. But no, that's not my job. Next year, maybe Alonso will be nice. If Alonso is willing to come to Liverpool, I think that's the type of manager you would sack Slot for. I think if it's not the best example, but I almost feel like back in the day they only sacked Brendan Rodgers because Klopp said, you know what, I'm ready, I'm available, I want to take the job. So I feel like they look for indications from prospective candidates where they say, okay, you know what, I'm ready, I'm going to come in. And I think if they get the go-ahead from Alonso or whoever, then I think they do make a change. What worries me is if they do not get the go-ahead from Alonso or Enrique or whoever, then they'd probably stick, I think. Ollie says, Galatasaray 1, come on Liverpool. They've got about 10 minutes, but there's Osimhen. Osimhen just dancing around the whole team, but it goes wide. Yeah, I'd be happy with Alonso. Let's not forget Alonso. Yeah, Alonso was poor at Real Madrid. I'm almost tempted not to kind of consider that because I just think that's a weird situation where the players almost have more authority and more power than the manager. So I just think that kind of situation is hard to judge. Whereas at Liverpool, the players wouldn't be above the manager. So he would have more flexibility to implement what he wanted and he'd be more respected. So I'd almost see it that way. You're fifth. You were second last time I checked. Grace is eating rainbow cake right now. I'm very jealous. As I said, I got a Victoria sponge in the fridge that I am going to attack in about 10 minutes. Yeah, I think much of the reason why Alonso failed at Real Madrid was the situations with respect to player power and was the situation with respect to the setup there. Like it almost felt like Mbappe was the boss and not Alonso. Southgate's been giving the indicator. Oh God, I'd rather take you, King Sloth. I'd rather take you as Liverpool manager over Southgate. Liam says Jesus robbed the game. Who's playing Galatasaray Liverpool? Catherine says you slot out provided there's a capable replacement who's ready to come in. So I'd say generally speaking, yes. But I'd want a world-class capable replacement like an Alonso, like an Enrique to come in. I wouldn't be slot out. Oh, fucking hell. They've just hit the side netting. I wouldn't be slot out just to bring Gerrard in, if you know what I mean. I just feel like the whole slot out conversation is in two parts. It's like, yes, part one is slot out, but part two is who you're going to get in to replace him. But I'd say if you have a world-class manager available to replace him, then yes. Grace wouldn't mind Amorim. I would. Liverpool don't have enough defenders to play his brand of football. Moscal says, how are y'all this bad? This season slot ruined the players' mentality. It's probably a combination of things, and everybody has a different opinion. My personal opinion on this, which doesn't mean I'm correct, it's just my personal opinion, is the problem is the lack of pace in the team. There's no pace up front. Salah is not fast. Gakpo is definitely not fast. Ekitike isn't rapid. Whereas last year you had Diaz who was rapid and you had Nunez who was rapid. Because his brain didn't work to tell him, you know what, you need to breathe in oxygen. So he was just rapid. I just think the lack of pace is probably what's hurting them. And it's probably not the only thing, but I think if you had to point to the number one thing that would make things better, that's probably what I would point towards. Stefan says slot out any of the Spice Girls in any of the Spice Girls. So you would take Sporty Spice or Baby Spice or Ginger Spice or Posh Spice or Scary Spice. Have I got all the Spice Girls? I would take Mel C because she was Sporty Spice. So I think she would have some sort of acumen. King Slot says, don't offend me, I'm way better than a Liverpool manager. I mean, it sounds like you don't want to take the Liverpool job because Liverpool probably couldn't afford you. I think you'd probably ask for too high wages. We need to go for cheaper managers like Xabi Alonso. City Real Madrid has happened again for what is like the fifth. I mean, if it is literally the fifth time, that wouldn't surprise me. It feels like the 500th time. Ekitike header, ooh, just goes wide. Better, but again, it's too late. It's too late. Players like Gravenberch, Gakpo are rubbish. I mean, they've all played rubbish. Power of the Turk, yeah. I mean, I thought this would be a 2-0 win for Liverpool, but it looks like it's going to be. It looks like it's going to be a win for Galatasaray. Reese says, pace is not your problem, not a style of play insight. But I think if you had pace, you could then derive a style of play from that. I think it's hard to formulate a style of play when you can't counter-attack and none of your wingers can beat any players. I think the lack of pace makes building a style of play quite difficult. Liverpool are rubbish. Liverpool are poop. Oh, Ghislaine Maxwell. Oh God, Ghislaine Maxwell. I mean, I think she's a bit busy. In a penitentiary currently. Galatasaray through again. That's like so random. I play FIFA and got Blackpool back in the Premier League, so I am elite. You wanted Liverpool to be not the best pool in the Premier League. I think that was your motivation. Fish is a bit drunk. I think it's a bit early to be drinking fish, but whatever works for you. Oh, fucking shit cross, man. Slot is a fraud. Ooh, just why? Give Klopp his medal. let's break into Slot's house. Take his medal and give it to Klopp. Yeah, I'm sure Klopp would love that. Who are we gonna get to break into his house though? That is the question. Dart fan says robbed. As in, would you disagree with the disallowed goal? I still need to see that again. The whole thing was a bit weird, the way the ball was just kind of bouncing around. I still need to see that again. Why are Bodo and Galatasaray good in this Champions League? They are good, and I think it helps that Liverpool are not really playing particularly well at the same time. So maybe it's two sides to the same coin. Grace says, Uma knows what I look like because of my profile picture on TikTok. Very true. And you know what I look like. So that hopefully that balances it out. Dart fan says, slot out. Liverpool home next. They are cooked. I mean, I hope they could perform a bit better at home. But even then, you don't want to lose the first game. The first leg, sorry. Like a draw you can maybe live with, but you don't want to be losing these games. Manager wants nothing to do with scoring goals, also wants nothing to do with making me happy because he gives me nothing but depression. Hazard says, what's your prediction for Newcastle versus Barcelona? As a Toon fan, I think respectable 2-2. I think you'll give him a good game. I think it will be close. I know things are not going so well for you in the league, but I think you'll be up for this game. And it's at St. James's Park, isn't it? Sorry. I think it'll be close. My prediction was earlier a tight Barcelona win, but if you get a draw, it wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me, to be honest with you. Mo Scout says, why was it disallowed? Apparently disallowed for a Van Dijk handball, but I need to see it again because I swear it was not a Van Dijk handball. Stefan says, slot out Joseph and the Technicolor dream coat in. I mean, I would take anybody at this point. That's the levels of desperation I've reached. How much added time? Good question. 4 minutes. So there's about 1 minute left and there's a Galatasaray corner. So this game's probably lost. DS says, I haven't watched football for the last 2 years. Absolute garbage. I'm a bit jealous of that because you've wasted less time than I have having to watch this. Riz says the lineup was poor. I would have given Rio a chance. Rio is kind of the one player who looks like a threat, but the poor guy can't seem to get a chance. I agree with the original Mr. Smith. Newcastle's mindset is different from Premier League and Champions League. It's not good enough. I think it will be a close game today. I think Barcelona will score first, but I think you'll come back into it. As I said, I think it will be a close Barcelona win, but wouldn't surprise me if you draw. Would not surprise me if you drew, to be honest. Galatasaray hit it over. Can he just take the handbrake off? I mean, he's had 90 minutes to take that off. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen. Goal kick by Mamardashvili. Gomez loses the ball again. But free kick. Infuriates me how bad we are. It is infuriating. Unfortunately, it's not going to change. My theory on it is you need pace in this team. There's no pace in this team. And unfortunately, the window to get somebody pacey has gone. So it's just going to be this slow nonsense for the next couple of months. Grace says, "How's your day been?" Yeah, all right. Usual. I got the day off tomorrow, so that's always good. How's your day been? Booking for Sabazlan. Costa says, "Imagine supporting this team." Unfortunately, I do not need to imagine that. I got loaned to Red Star Belgrade. Nice. I'm sure Red Star Belgrade will be very grateful for that you are there to help them out. Akash says slot out. I hear you, and I think it's full time, by the way. So I think losing this game is only going to make that louder. And I mean, it's tough to argue or disagree with that. you know what I mean? It's unfortunately, I don't think they're going to sack him until the end of the season. But generally speaking, I agree with you. Grace's day has been alright, thanks, but I have to run tomorrow. Why do you have to run? Are you trying to kind of keep up an exercise routine? I'm probably going to do some weights after this. I'm trying to kind of get back into the weights. I used to do weights every day, but I've not been doing that for the past year. So I'm trying to get into a routine again. Great game. I disagree with that. Burner says, just poor football from us, man. I'm disappointed couldn't take our chances and nothing. There tends to be 3 or 4 stories that this team executes. One of those stories that this team executes is first 5-10 minutes, they bash the goal, but nothing goes in. But then in trying to bash the goal repeatedly, they then concede. And then once they concede, they turn off and you've lost the game. That's one of the stories that this team plays out. And that's the story that played out today. Galatasaray is the best team in the world. Well, I mean, they got a good win here today. I should stop the timer in case people think it's still going. But no, it's full time. I would have hoped, but same old shit, man. Liverpool will still progress at home, says Sleeping Lion. I mean, we were half of your username. We were 50% of your username. So we were sleeping today, but we were not lions today. I mean, hopefully the next game, Liverpool can be the other half of your username. Slot out Arteta in. At least he will do a better job. At this point, I mean, I'm hoping Alonso comes. I'm hoping Alonso wants to come number 1, and I hope Liverpool give him the money that he wants, and then hopefully he can inject a bit of energy into this team next year. Jazz says 1 goal away isn't so bad. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. I would have hoped for a draw at the very least. And to be honest, they can turn this around, but I would have hoped for better. Liverpool doesn't lose; they just out-errored Galatasaray. I need to see that disallowed goal again. The whole thing just happened a bit too fast. Once a league threat, non-existent these days. So strong at home, not anymore. No fear, too easy. Yeah, and if you don't have confidence, I think other teams can sense that. I appreciate the next game is at Anfield, but I think it's not necessarily a given that Liverpool are going to win that. Oh, right. So your running that you're doing is part of the 5K. I see. Well, I think once you start training, you'll start feeling better. So I think that's one of the positives. Awful game, but wow, that ref blowing for anything. He was a bit, I don't want to say trigger happy, but blowing happy for mundane things. Poo would be accurate. Your description sounds like 2017 Man City. That's 2025 Liverpool, just without the trophies. See, you're exercising properly. Sometimes I exercise but don't exercise hard. At least you're doing it properly, to be fair. SCP's happy. How good is Osman? He's good. I mean, he's the star player of the team, but he's not the one that scored today. Steve says, I know Premier League refs are bad, but these international refs are just as bad. Still no excuse. I agree. Like, the ref was bad, but I still feel like it'd be too much of a leap to use that as an excuse. I think Liverpool was rubbish, but two things can be right at the same time. So I think it's fair to say that. Isabel says, well, overall wasn't a bad game. Factually, they didn't deserve to win. I'd say it should have been a draw. Yeah, I think a draw would have been fair. And the VAR and red can get in the bin also. The Galatasaray fans can also get in the bin. The bin is overflowing. Might need to change the bin bag in this bin. I hope it's one of those strong bin bags as well. You don't want one of those weak bin bags where you put stuff in and then it rips. Like, I hope it's a proper bin bag. But yeah, not the worst thing I've ever seen, but I would have hoped for at least a draw or at least a goal, especially when I've not been here for a month. I was hoping for something. Give me something, and they gave me nothing. Lincoln says, what is this, ref man? That is the question. Oh yeah, very true. Very true. No Galatasaray fans at Liverpool. Should be interesting for the return leg. I don't even know what was happening there. I just saw the ball kind of bouncing around. The ball went in, and if anything, it looked like it came off the hand of the Galatasaray guy. So I was thinking, what's the problem? Why are you disallowing this? It looks fine. Dan's had enough. Dan says slot out. Chulu says, I feel really sorry for Galatasaray at Anfield. I've seen Liverpool win a final when they're 3-0 down. True. I mean, I think Liverpool will probably turn it around, but I don't know if that's blind delusion at this point. I always predict them to win, and then they deliver this. The better team won. I'll tell you, it was a close game. But equally, I don't think we can be too disappointed that we lost because we didn't really do much. A draw would have been fair, but Liverpool didn't really do much to necessitate the win. So probably can't complain too much about the loss. Ref was shocking. Indeed he was. Galatasaray were better. George is loving life. Zach says, how is that goal disliked? To be honest, I'm not too sure. I need to say it back. To me, it looked like it came off the Galatasaray guy's hand. I agree with that. No Rio is 100% an illegal decision. He's the one player who seems to kind of inject a bit of panic into opposition defenders and seems to inject a bit of pace into the team and seems to inject a bit of unpredictability into the attack. But the poor guy can't seem to get on the pitch. It's insane. And I know there's the whole thing about, okay, we don't want to overplay him because he's a youngster, but you have to balance that with the fact, or you have to balance that with the notion of not playing him enough, because the flip side is if you don't play him enough, he's not going to develop. I just think they're being too aggressive on the resting. Like, I get you don't want to break the guy's knees before he's 20, but I just think this is skewed a bit too much in not playing him. What did Slot do? Not much, the usual. Get the egg in 3 sizes too small clothes. I did think his fit was a bit tight, I can't lie. Maybe he needs to go for a bit of a looser type. But he looks like he's a medium. So is he going into the shop saying, I want an extra small, please? Because it's possible. But yeah, his fit did look a bit tight, to be honest with you. One of our worst performances. I don't disagree, but I feel like I'm saying that every game. No hope with this garbage manager and players. I mean, with each loss, I think what you're saying is strengthened. Osimhen assisted. Grace says, oh, you're famous. You got a heart to me and 90 people watching. Nice. What is a heart to me? You'll have to educate me. But it sounds like a positive thing. Issy says, shit performance. And Issy is so mad that Issy hit the A instead of the S. But that just explains and illustrates how angry you are, which is justifiable. Jazz didn't really get to watch the game on time. Was it defending type of game or was it Galatasaray tactically good? To be honest with you, it was a pretty much nothing happened type of game. First 5 minutes, Liverpool were aggressive. Liverpool, you thought, okay, Liverpool going to score a few goals here. But Liverpool were not... The way I kind of described it is Liverpool came out as a boxer in the first round, just throwing 500 punches, throwing 500 hooks, throwing 500 uppercuts all over the place. And all their punches were missing. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, Galatasaray threw a punch and knocked us to the floor by scoring. And then after we were knocked to the floor, Liverpool weren't the same. So I'd say Liverpool were good for 5 minutes. After that, you had about 85 minutes of pretty much nothing. There was the disallowed goal from the Szoboszlai corner, but you didn't really miss much, to be honest. Isabel's got a headache. The booing shut the F up. Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm lucky I've got it muted, to be honest. The match was trash versus garbage. I think that's accurate. Jazz, same issue with Real Madrid. With young players who have huge potential, Endrick, for example. Unfortunately, I don't see this situation improving. My feeling on this is you need pace in the team. But unfortunately, the one pacey player in the team in Rio can't get any game time, and the window to acquire more pacey players is gone. Isabel agrees. Grace says, when you off, probably in the next couple of minutes. Kanate's goal was a handball. Let's be honest. To be honest, when I was watching it, I thought it came off the Galatasaray player's hand. But if you're saying it's a handball, then I'll take your word for it. Me personally, I need to watch it back. But speaking realistically, and you know I'm the most unbiased person ever. But speaking realistically, I thought it came off the Galatasaray player's hand. But if you're saying that, then you might be onto something. But not good. Liverpool got robbed. I think Liverpool robbed themselves, to be honest. Like the goal was contentious, but I almost feel like they should have done more. It shouldn't have come down just to one goal. I would have hoped it would have been at least, say, 2-1 by then. Always are they just kind of whistling? That is pretty annoying, to be fair. Oh, did they only get one card the whole game? That's crazy, because Szoboszlai got booked at the end for pretty much nothing. Referee was not the best, and again, we can't blame the referee, but I think we need to take ownership for our own performances and our own failings. But outside of that, I did think the referee was poor, but that's not an excuse. We can't blame the referee. We need to do better ourselves. Should Rio start the next leg? I hope so. They're trying to find this balance whereby they don't overplay him so that he doesn't get injured. But I'm not sure they've struck that balance correctly yet. If anything, I get the notion of not wanting to overplay him so you don't injure the guy, but the flip side is if you underplay him, then he doesn't get the experience, and I'm just not convinced they've got that balance quite right yet. Rio will get 20 minutes versus Spurs and start the second leg next Wednesday. I just want to see that guy on the pitch. Even he's one of those weird players, and I say weird as a compliment, but as soon as he gets the ball, the opposition seem terrified because they don't know what he's going to do. And you need that unpredictability because this team is very predictable. Because you know Salah's going to cut inside onto the left. You know Gakpo's going to cut inside onto the right. Whereas Rio, you don't know what that guy's going to do. And you need that unpredictability, I think. It's just pretty crazy. It's madness Rio didn't get a minute. I don't know what the poor guy has to do. Like, surely you're 1-0 down with, let's say, 20 minutes to go. Just bring him on. What can it hurt? What can 20 minutes hurt, really? Oh, they've cut any footage of Isak. That's a shame. He scored quite a few good goals. Where was Stinky Salah? He was on the pitch and then he got subbed off after about 60 minutes. Heart Me is 0.4p. Pretty cool. Appreciate that. Full time. Yeah, full time. I should have paused the timer. Yeah, Zed is saying they're trying to protect Rio because of his age, but he's far better than Gakpo and Salah. I understand the argument that they don't want to overplay him. I mean, I think we just need to look back to kind of Michael Owen days, where kind of Michael Owen was overplayed and then didn't really have a fulfilling career because of that, because he kept getting injuries because he was overplayed. But I almost feel like that is a balance between overplaying them versus playing them, and I just don't feel like they've struck the balance yet. I'm phrasing this so badly, but I get that they don't want to overplay him. I'm worried that they are underplaying him, because whilst there is a risk to overplaying somebody, they get injured, I feel like there's also a risk to underplaying somebody, which is that they don't get the experience. And then there's lots of players who have a lot of potential when they're young. I don't know, Danny Pacheco as an example. They have a lot of potential when they're young, but because they don't get the exposure to first team football, they never really develop. And then they end up going on loan to Club X, and then they end up getting released. I just what the why are we insulting Rio? I don't. I was like, what? Slant said he doesn't want to overplay and get wins too risky. I just don't think they've struck the balance quite right. Like as I was saying, I understand not wanting to overplay him, but I just worry they are underplaying him. And there's also a risk to underplaying, which is that you don't develop. What was Kanate doing, says Harry's gaming and bullying tutorials. He was trying to kick himself in the arse, to be honest. Think about, if somebody says to you, how can you kick yourself in the arse? And you think, huh, how can I do that? That is what Kanate was doing. So it's a bit of an awkward movement and a bit of an awkward position you gotta do, but that's what it was. How did Ekatike not score? I don't know. I thought that was 1-1. Has he done his interview yet? I'm not sure, but it's going to be the same nonsense, isn't it? The same bakwas where he's just going to say, yes, you know, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, shut up, man. Apparently, Galatasaray goalkeeper was very good. Is that true? Not really, to be honest. Nothing really majorly stood out from the Galatasaray keeper. I just think Liverpool didn't do enough. Yeah, I agree with Zed that yes, they're trying not to overplay him so he doesn't get injured, but I think it's a fine balancing thing. And I just worry that they are underplaying him and then he doesn't get enough experience. Yeah. Like Yamal is kind of who I was thinking of. I appreciate Yamal is probably physically kind of further along, and I know Yamal plays pretty much every game, but that kind of thing. At least you might get to watch Spurs get smashed by Athletic. I'm starting to feel sorry for Spurs. I mean, not really, but if they get relegated, that's going to be a bit of a disaster. If you got a Galaxy, you would have gotten £20. Interesting. I don't know how any of this TikTok stuff works. We shouldn't underestimate Spursy in Europe. They might be Atletico 3-2, and that's a big might. I mean, it would be funny if they were to win the Champions League and get relegated. Has that ever happened before? I don't think that's ever happened before. winning the Champions League and then you get relegated, and then you're a championship kind of second tier team playing in the Champions League. Good game. It was alright. Harry, who can't go more than 5 seconds without injuring himself, has now got another injury. Says, popped my thumb out and also injured my leg, but my thumb's... Oh, that's okay. It's good to hear that you're recovering at the very least. We're shocking, very true. I mean, lazy baller. That describes kind of the 11 players we saw today. Okay. It's good to hear you are recovering. Apparently, the Alisson injury is not serious, and he should be back soon. Some players peak in their teenagers. Lamal, Owen, impossible to leave them out. That could be the worry. That could be the worry as well, because I think the older you get, the less explosiveness you have, the less desire you have, the less motivation you have. Because I think when young players are coming up, they're very motivated. But once you've been earning, say, 50 grand a week for 4 years, you're probably less motivated. And I'm just a bit worried that if Liverpool don't capitalize on this, they could lose. They could lose the opportunity to, really nurture a impressive talent. I mean, at least some of the comments have made this Liverpool game a bit more bearable. SB is saying, nah, F Spurs. To be honest, that is what I was actually thinking. I was just trying to be fair and kind of unbalanced, unbiased. Sorry, but that's what I'm actually thinking. Yamal is so good because he's full of confidence. Rio was good last game and then doesn't get a game, which is bad because number one, you lose out on the confidence, and I think number two, it will proactively lower his confidence because he's gonna think, you know what more do you want me to do? I'm here, I'm cooking the best meal you've ever eaten in your life, but then you don't get me to cook again. What do you want me to do? Grace says, why are you famous all of a sudden, lol? I'm trying to get to the end of the comment so that I can go gym. That's the plan. The plan was Liverpool game finishes early, then I can go gym. But I'm kind of struggling. I need help. I feel sorry for Port Vale. They gave Chelsea my whole team. Vale is... What? I feel sorry for Port Vale. They gave Chelsea my home team... You need to rephrase that. You sound as drunk as fish. Too much back pass. Yeah, back pass, sideways pass. Passing it every which way but forward. I hope Liverpool win the Champions League. Me too. Moa says, what game are you watching now? The Newcastle-Barcelona game has started, but to be honest, I'm going to go in 5 minutes once I catch up to the comments because I need to go gym. Not that bad of a result. Just need a goal at Anfield. 2 goals, yeah. But I would rather... I'd rather it was at the very least a draw. But it is what it is. I think Mama was good today. Why are you complaining? I thought he was crap. I thought he was shit. But it's not his fault. Because... the guy can't get a game even in the cups. Even in the cups, Alisson plays. So I thought Mamadashvili was poor, but equally, I don't think it was his fault because you're bringing a goalkeeper in cold. You didn't even play the guy in the FA Cup. So I feel like this is inevitable to a certain degree. Robbo needs to start. I'm not trusting Kirkers. Robertson was on good form as well. Ooh, Newcastle almost scored. I'm not watching the Newcastle game. It's just on. I'm not going to stay here for 90 minutes. I need to go gym. But yeah, I thought Robertson would stay. The game's finished. Galatasaray won. Al Slot said, Grace, you are correct. Autocorrect. Makes sense. Harv says, we take a 1-0 at Turkey. Not going to lie. Has crowd to play against. I think it will be okay. If you still kind of said, Do you think Liverpool are going to win? Liverpool are going to go through, or Galatasaray? I think Liverpool will probably win. We've just unnecessarily kind of made it more difficult. Yeah, I'm trying to I'm trying to catch up so I can go. Slot is a spy of Arsenal. We were the only team to cross Arsenal this year. That is true. Why couldn't we put our chances away? The same story. Create the chances. Kind of knock at the door. Knock, 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 but never open the door. Feel bad for Vale. This is unauto-corrected now. They drew Chelsea. My home team is Port Vale. All right. Yeah. So you're from Stoke-on-Trent. So you're from Eddie Hall City. I think I mentioned this before. But Port Vale is your second team. So they drew Chelsea in the cup. Okay, that makes sense. Autocorrect is just making our lives a lot more difficult. Oh, sorry, that's what you meant. Yeah. No. I understand now. I understand what you mean. Liverpool have been terrible at home also this season. Yeah, terrible at home, terrible away. If there was like a third thing, neutral. There is neutral, but if they ever play at neutral grounds, if they ever get far enough in the cups, then they'll probably be terrible there as well. Harvey's asking the question, we're all wondering to be fair, where and why did we not get Rio on that pitch day after the last game he played? I don't know what to tell you. And I understand him not starting. Not that I agree with it, but I can kind of mentally resonate with him not starting. But to not bring him on for like 20 minutes. When the guy is in form, the guy is eager to impress. The guy got the man of the match in the last game. It's just Newcastle attack versus Newcastle attack, by the way, against Barcelona. I don't know what Rio has to do to start other than gain about 3 years of age. I don't know what the poor guy has to do. They don't pass to Wirtz that much. I mean, the passing in general, I think, is very bad. George says, to be fair, Liverpool losing, poor result, but at Anfield and Galatasaray facing injuries, I think we will scrape it. It's just disappointing that they've made it harder for themselves than it needs to be. Konate was shocking. I'm really glad that second Galatasaray goal was disallowed, because that was one of the most shocking things I've ever seen. Stiley says, what the hell did I just watch? Nothing good, to be honest. Nothing good, nothing positive. Grace says, bye, you taking forever to go. Yeah, I'll probably wrap up in the next 5 minutes or so. Because as I said, I need to go gym. And if I stay here forever, I won't. And then I'll regret it tomorrow. And says, bro, did you see Ekatike? I did. Bit of a bizarre game for him, I can't lie. He had that one-on-one where I thought, okay, he's going to score a similar goal to what he scored a couple of games back, but he kind of skied the ball. It was a bit of a weird game from him. You reckon Liverpool get Champions League? If you asked me a few weeks ago, I'd say definitely yes. Now I'm starting to have doubts. Still possible, but starting to have doubts. Galatasaray's pressing was amazing, to be fair. They played well. Whilst the referee was bad, I don't think Liverpool can solely blame the referee. I think they need to take ownership for their performance. Liverpool need to start playing backwards and sideways. They need to start playing forwards. They play every direction apart from forwards. Grace says you said that 5 minutes ago. Very, very true. Very true. I'm just trying my best to catch up, and as soon as I catch up, I fall behind again. All we need is Isak on form. I'm weirdly still so excited for Isak. I'm disappointed with the injury. Of all the summer signings, you had Kirkers, you had Wirtz, you had Isak, you had Ekatike. Isak was the one I was most excited for because he was a Premier League proven striker. After 3 years of Nunes, Isak was the one I was the most excited for. So I'm kind of bummed that he got injured, but I think Isak goes into this team. Like I know Ekatike has been playing well, but for me, you don't buy a 70 million pound striker and a 130 million pound striker and bench the 130 guy. I often felt like Ekatike was the Jota replacement and Isak was the Nunes replacement. Konate was god awful, but that is the story of Konate's life, unfortunately. But anyway, I've caught up now. So as I said, I better go now because I'm gonna go gym. But I'll be back whenever Liverpool are back. Who Liverpool playing next? Sunday Spurs 4:30. Great. So gotta wait whole weekend for that. But yeah, I'll be back on Sunday. Hope you guys have a nice evening. Grace says saying thank God you finally gone. Well, I've been telling Grace for about half an hour. Just 5 more minutes. But yeah, going now. I think 1-0 ain't enough to pass to the quarters. It's made things harder. It's not impossible, but it has made things harder. It is what it is now. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But anyway, I'm gonna go gym. Take care, guys. Have a nice evening. Enjoy your rainbow cake, Grace. I'm gonna have the Victoria sponge cake that I got in the fridge. But yeah, see you guys Sunday. Take care.